Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. Guys, I met this young lady at a mastermind. She blew me away. I had to bring her on a podcast. Brittany, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you again for, taking time to share some of your genius with us today.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I'm honored to be here and pour into all of your listeners.
Fantastic. So we have a lot of business owners, a lot of startup entrepreneurs that listen to our show. And one thing that a lot of them don't fully understand is PR. So before we even get to that, share a bit more about who is Brittany.
So I call myself a serial entrepreneur.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. My husband often says things like, what business are we starting this week to me? So I do a lot of different things, but all centered around helping other people like me. I became a serial entrepreneur by accident. I started a business because of a problem I had that I saw people had that same problem. And then as I developed new problems, I developed new businesses, to solve those problems for other people as well. So I do a lot of different things, but mostly I help really frustrated entrepreneurs scale their businesses through a series of coaching, PR, credit, and virtual assistants. So I kind of am a one-stop shop for for people who are trying to start a business.
All right. So you have a virtual assistant business, a coaching business,
correct,
a credit business,
a
PR business.
Yep.
That's it, or there's more?
I run a multi-million-dollar janitorial company that that's how I got into being an entrepreneur. My dad started the company 20 years ago. He was going to retire and sell the company. And I was fresh out of a really bad domestic violence situation. I was like, I need a job. Don't sell the company. Let me take over, or let me do something. Let me clean something. I don't care, but I just need to make some money to feed these kids. And so, that's how I kind of got into it. So I still run the janitorial company, for my family as well. So,
that's amazing. It's like I'm very impressed because you're running like 5 businesses plus your mom, and you have a whole family. That's like a business in its own.
I am lucky. I retired my husband. So he is an amazing dad. And he spends a lot of the time that, society says I'm supposed to be at home cooking and cleaning. And he does a lot of the home stuff so that I can
That's amazing.
Practice my genius and be an entrepreneur, because that's what my love language is.
That's awesome. I love it. I got so many questions. The first one is, and you hear that a lot, right? A lot of people say, hey, you need to focus on one business. How do you have time to do all these businesses? I'm curious, how do you have time to have 5 successful business?
So, and that's what I tell a lot of people that I'm coaching whenever they're developing their elevator pitch. And if they are serial entrepreneurs, not to just list off their companies, because what other people do when they hear that is they shrink your businesses in their head. They're like, oh, well, she can't just do one thing successfully. So she's got all these different things to make herself look busy. When in actuality, I do a lot of things successfully. And, the way that I do it is I have an amazing team.
Nice.
That's the secret. That's the only secret. I haven't opened up my credit repair software in 8 months.
Wow.
I don't run that company.
Your team is running it.
Right. I set up the company. All of my ethics and morals and systems and dispute methods and everything that I created, one of my coaches taught me that I needed to, document that and then delegate it away so that I could do something else. And that's what I did. And so the company doesn't have to close so that I can do something different. I continue to make a passive income as long as I make sure that the staff is in place to run that company. And then of course we have weekly meetings. I get an overview of what's going on. we have, meetings with marketing. Like we do a lot.
So you have like 1,000 meetings because you have all these companies that you're running.
We do Mondays is meeting day, and I have
Ah,
a Zoom meeting with each company on Monday, and then we just run through them step by step each
I
one.
like that.
Yeah.
That's genius. Now, I got to go back a little bit, right? Because I'm also multifaceted, multi-creative, and have a lot of different businesses too. And I'm very selfish right now because I'm asking a question for myself. But
Yeah.
one of my challenges is the management, right? Because I have meetings on Sunday, I have meeting on Tuesday, I have meeting today. So you have this different meetings for this different businesses to make sure everything is running the right way. You just said something that you put all those meetings on one day. So
Back to
that
back.
save you a lot of time.
Yeah. And
I like
we do
that.
them back to back too. Cause if one meeting gets done early, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, invite everyone in from this company next, because I don't want to waste my time either. Like,
Yeah. How
if
long is your meetings? 15,
they,
30 minutes?
so it depends on the company. Some companies
Mhm.
take longer, like our virtual assistant staffing company. There's a lot of different departments involved, a bigger staff for that company
Mm.
because of the complexity of what we do. So that meeting is the longest one. The longest it's ever been is like an hour and a half. But the
Gotcha.
other companies are like 15, 20 minutes. We're getting everything that we need to get off of our chest. Everyone's in one place at one time so we can like discuss things together, and then we're out of there. And
Mm.
I do them all on one day because I'm in meeting mode. And I also know that that's the day for that, and
Yeah,
unless
because
there's like some kind
beginning
of,
of the week.
right, if there's some kind of holiday or sickness, we move everything together in a bulk to another day. But same thing.
I got another question for you, right? When it comes to setting up those companies, because how fast do you set it up to get it up and running? So you know what I mean? Like that's a challenge too, right? It's like, okay, I have this idea, I get the LLC set up, I got the product ready to go, and I need to hire 3 salespeople to run it, get a marketing person in there, and then somebody to manage it so I can remove myself.
Right.
How much time do you give yourself to do all this? And then to go to the
Okay. So here's the thing. I am so new to entrepreneurship. I mean, if we really look at it,
yeah,
my rise to fame, like my first speaking engagement was less than a year ago.
wow,
My first million made by myself was less than a year ago.
congrats,
And
by
then
the
it's
way.
just, thank you. It's just kind of skyrocketed from there. In the beginning, I started my first business. I was 8 months pregnant with my 2-year-old. I was
That's amazing.
sitting in my bedroom on a couch watching TV with a laptop in my lap, and I bought the I did the LLC, the EIN, everything right there. I did like a quick logo on Canva, and I launched the business the next day, because at that point in my life, I was just like, I didn't know that you needed a plan or whatever. I was winging it. Done was better than perfect. I was ready to start making
Nice.
money. I wanted to make money. I was bored during a pandemic. I was like, we're all going to die. I need money. Like I didn't know what was going to happen. So it was a real crazy time. It was hormonal with the pregnancy and everything. So I was
Oh
just like,
man.
by the way, honey, I just created a business. We're doing this. And he was like, okay. And a lot of people thought like that. They were like, oh, she's crazy. Here she goes again. But now it's a little more strategic, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that same person that gets a harebrained idea in the middle of the night. But now it's okay. I send a message to the group chat of my team, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I have an idea. You guys don't kill me, please. I know. Like, let's get the recruitment team finding people to run this clothing line, because I have a clothing line
What?
that is,
So wait, you have way more than 5.
but
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
done. It's like, so it's done and everything is like ready. The website is live, like, but nobody knows what it is. And so like, it's not launched yet, but
They're
like, so
gonna
now
know
I
now.
can be more strategic now, because I have
Okay.
the money, I have the
Mhm.
credit, I have the know-how. I know exactly what to do. I've got the blueprint because I've done it so many times. I have mentors now that I can run ideas by. It's
Mm.
so much different now than it was then.
Yeah.
Back then I was throwing spaghetti at a wall, seeing
Yeah.
was sticking and just kind of going with it. Now I have like a whole team around me that's like, okay, yeah, this is brilliant. Same thing happened with the PR thing. It wasn't even my idea. Literally, someone
I
told
got
me
like
to
2
do it.
questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
One, tell us about that structure that you have now, because I'm thinking some people can benefit from it, from starting to launching to managing, right? And then next, we're going to tell us more about the PR, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs need help with that too.
Yeah. So when it comes to structuring things now, of course, I come up with the idea. I'm the dreamer. And I think this is where most entrepreneurs end up struggling, is because they are the dreamer. They have this amazing idea. They have no idea how to make money from it. So now the structure of it looks like this. I come up with this amazing idea, and then we develop a product or a plan or service around that amazing idea. We then create branding around that, which I have people on my team that's their job. Like I have an in-house graphic designer / social media manager. And then, we have to get everything legal.
Yeah.
We immediately start the day it's launched. We start building business credit for it, because we know exactly what steps to take, because we want to get funding immediately. We don't want to wait. So
that's smart.
Right. So we start that day opening accounts for this. As soon as we have an EIN,
net 30 accounts, boom,
then
boom,
we're heading after Dun and Bradstreet. We're setting up the accounts. We're getting the business credit built for it, because we're going to need that, right?
Yeah.
Eventually for something. And then once we got, everything legal set up, immediately start setting up social media pages and websites, which we use a system that allows me to have as many businesses as I want underneath one enterprise.
Nice.
And then everything is in-house. So everything's there. I can build funnels. I can do everything in one place. It makes it really simple. So it's got a CRM, like everything's there. So it makes it,
I love it,
really easy to launch a new business or, play around with an idea to see where it goes.
How about customer acquisition?
I'm blessed because I have built a brand around. Here's the secret. You guys want the secret sauce?
Yes, we're listening.
Build a personal brand. I never built a brand. I mean, I built brands around my businesses. My businesses have beautiful, curated logos, brands, blah, blah, but people don't fall in love with logos. They don't fall in love with businesses. They fall in love with people.
Wow.
And they fell in love with my story of resilience, and they fall in love with the fact that I get online and call everyone my CEOs. I built
your personality,
a community around the fact that I'm an entrepreneur. I never shoved products down people's throats. I used transformational marketing. I showed people, okay, in the beginning it was credit, right? I was like, hey guys, I'm poor. I'm broke. I have no money. I lost my house. I can't get an apartment without a cosigner. My life is falling apart. And then boom, 2 years later, it's okay. I just bought a 5-bedroom house. I've got 3 cars that I've got on Turo now. Like it's okay. Now, do you want to learn how to do that too? Because I know you're having these same problems. I know you can't get your lights cut on because your credit score is too low. Let me help you. I never was like, hey, I got credit repair.
I want to buy.
You
if
you're interested, reach out to me. No, I know you're interested. Let me show you why I'm the best person to choose. There's a million people selling credit repair, but do you want to go with the person who is like shoving flyers down your throat every 10 minutes? Or do you want to go with the girl who's like, okay, yes, I'm going to be transparent. I was not always here. I was poor. I was broke. I was messed up. But look what credit repair did for my life. I want you to have that same thing. I want you to have this life. They're going to pick me every time.
Yeah.
And so when I built that personal brand around my credit repair company, as I progressed in my own life, I became an entrepreneur. I opened other businesses. I was flying all over the world, doing all these things. I didn't open up a coaching program because I wanted to, because other people were, doing it and making a lot of money. I opened a coaching program because my community demanded it.
Wow. It's
My
based on
inbox,
demand. So you're always
my,
listening.
my inbox was like, I want you to show me how. I love you. You've changed my life. Your Facebook has changed my life. That's a big load to carry, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta put this in order. I can really help people. I can really, I can take the information that I've learned in my troubles to help someone else overcome theirs. Let's do that. Same, every single company. So when you open a second company, you don't have to worry about the launch because the people already trust you.
Yeah. It's just let the word out. Hey, everyone.
I could start an underwear company
And just let everyone know, hey,
and
we
just
just
let
got a
everyone
new
know
brand.
that, yo, I got these awesome underwear. Y'all already trust me. I got the goods, and everything else I've told you has been legit. I'm legit. So like, if you want some really good underwear, these are the ones. And boom, everyone's wearing Brittany Bettini underwear. I think the personal brand is so important, and people really don't pay enough attention to it.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something I paid attention to it in the beginning, but then I slowly kind of stay away from it and say, hey, I want to create a company that's sellable without me, right? But
Correct.
now the way you structure it is the personal brand, if you build it big enough, it will help enhance the sales. And you still could have a company brand that's become sellable, but that personal
Absolutely.
brand gives you that catalyst that you need to go to the next level. Which takes me to my
Absolutely.
next questions, right? You blew up in 2 years. So you did something that allows you to blow up in 2 years. Tell us about your PR genius.
PR. It's definitely PR. And I knew PR was important from a very young age because
Mhm.
my mom worked for the Tampa Tribune. And I also watched her help my dad. So my dad is actually my stepdad. They met when I was in high school, and
Mm.
he was operating his janitorial company out of the back of a van.
Mm.
And it was just a van. He had no warehouse, no building, no, it was just him and a couple of people cleaning buildings. He had contracts, but no recognition for the hard work that he
Yeah.
was doing either. And when he met my mom knew a lot about PR and branding, old school PR and branding, like, you know,
Newspapers.
newspapers and yellow book. Okay.
Oh
But still
man.
good information for him at that point. And so I learned a lot from her, watching her make my dad pretty much the most famous
Famous.
Black entrepreneur in our town.
That's
Really.
amazing.
She really honed in on the fact that, he was underutilized and helped him build this amazing brand in our community. And so
Wow.
I'm from an era of more online. So
Yeah.
I just took what she did for him and I put it on steroids by putting
Mm.
it all online, because where she had a local kind of thing, which is perfect for what the
Yeah,
company.
for different businesses, local
Right,
businesses,
because they can't
local
service people
celebrity.
in California for janitorial
Exactly.
anyway. So that's what she had a good plan. For me, I wanted customers all across the country or the world. So I knew that I needed to get PR going. And so I had been getting a bunch of messages in my inbox like, I can get you on this magazine. Um,
Uh-huh.
Actually, it started like this. I was so excited. I was so naive. Like I told you guys, like I'm new money, like broke girl new money. Okay. Like, um, I went back to Target the other night to get my 30% that they forgot to give me when I was buying my kids' coats. Like, I am not too good for a discount. Okay. But so this guy sent me this email. He's like, I found you on Instagram. I think you'd be perfect for this article I'm writing for Forbes, blah, 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 blah. And I was running around my house screaming, crying real tears, like, I made it, honey. They want to interview me for Forbes, blah, blah, blah. And my husband was like super, he's like, wow, you are really killing it. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you. All this turns out, okay. And I'm sure a lot of the people who are listening to this have had this happen to them as well. But I'm just real transparent about it because I don't care.
Yes.
But so I got on a call with this guy thinking that, I was about to be interviewed. I was going to be famous. And this man looks me dead in my eyes on a Zoom and tells me that it's like $8,000 for him to get me featured on the article. And I was
Wow.
like disgusted. I was so mad. I was thinking about paying for it though, because I was like, man,
I
like,
mean, it's
I really want
Forbes.
to be. I've already told my whole family I'm going to
No,
Forbes. What am I going to do now?
oh
So,
my God.
I immediately realized, okay, because I'm an entrepreneur and I have a
Yeah.
entrepreneur's mindset. So anytime someone's selling me something, the first thing I think is, if they're selling it to me for this much, how much are they paying for it to be able to sell it to me? It's just the way I think.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if he can sell it to me for $8,000, that means I could get it somewhere else cheaper if I figure out how to get to cut out the middleman and get to the plug.
I got you. Smart,
So
smart.
yeah, so I started doing some research and I found out that, PR companies are charging between $2,000 a month to up to $50,000 a month
50,000. Yeah.
for this work of getting you noticed. And so I was like, I can't afford that. I was brand new in the game. Like I was not, my company wasn't barely making enough money to pay the staff that I had hired. So I'm like, I can't pay for that. So I was like, I'm just going to figure out how to do it on my own.
Mm.
And I just did research. I took tons of calls with PR companies
Smart.
and like poached information from them without them like I'm like, well, okay, you say you can get me featured, but how can you get me?
And they can
They
tell
had
you the
no
goods.
idea that, and because they're trying to sell me something, so they're going to give me whatever information that they can to close the sale. They had no chance of closing the sale. I was trying to get information only. I was there. It's terrible to say that I did that, but you know what? When
Market research.
market research, and also like I come from a survivor's mentality.
Mm.
I think that's another thing that served me very well. And I think that most people who've been through trauma, that's why you see
Yeah.
a lot of amazing entrepreneurs come from trauma backgrounds, poverty,
Yeah.
domestic violence, because we have like this, you can't kill us,
That
you can't
mindset.
beat us
Yeah.
mindset. We're going to figure it
Yeah.
out. Everything's figure outable. I once took a bath with stove water. Okay, honey, you can't. Okay. Like
Hey,
I
you gotta do
got
what you
this.
gotta do.
You got to
You
do what you
know?
got to do. So I figured it out and I was doing it for myself.
Mm.
I didn't think much of it other than I knew it was helping me land clients that other people who were as new as me couldn't land. It was getting the attention of my people that I wanted to be my mentors. Now they were my friends. It was weird. It got me into doors that I couldn't get in without it. And I'm so thankful for that, because honestly, if I hadn't done PR, I wouldn't have the VA company, because
Oh,
the
wow.
reason that Ken asked me to speak at his event was because I had recently been featured and I was trying to build my PR. And I told him, I was like, hey, I want to get into speaking. And he was like, I've been wanting to ask you, but I was, like, you're doing all these huge things with all this, you're in Forbes now, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
hey, guess what? You got into Forbes before spending $8,000.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I definitely did. I went a different route. So, I'm super thankful for PR because it
That's
helped
awesome.
me to establish trust. I deserve,
Faster.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
There's people that will use PR and then immediately ruin it because they're not doing things the right way. Their work ethic isn't going to match up with what their PR says. You can't lie forever. Eventually it's going to catch up.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you are a good, legitimate business owner that cares about your clients and wants to do good in this world, PR can allow you to do that so much faster. Like all PR did, it wasn't a lie. It was just showing people that I was the best option. And I am the best option. I really care. I really want to do good things. I really want to help entrepreneurs. And so if it takes a consumer seeing that Forbes said that or Yahoo Finance said that to convince them that I'm legitimate, I am going to make that happen. Because once you get on the phone with me, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If I need Forbes to get you on the phone with me, then that's what I will do. But once you get on the phone with me, like, I'm going to show you that I am the real deal and I care about you. I want to see you succeed, and you won't be able to tell me no.
I love it. I love it. So to wrap things up, what is one small biz tips you can share with any business owners that can help them either get more exposure or save time?
So, the biggest tip that I would give you guys, if you want to start working on your PR for your business, is it's a two-part. Number one, get your personal brand in order. Make sure everything matches up with what you want your customers to see if they come to your personal Facebook or Instagram page. And then go on helpareporter.com, and
Mm,
you can pitch yourself to people who are looking to feature entrepreneurs today. You could literally
mm.
be featured very quickly. And that's the secret sauce. Helpareporter.com. A lot of people call it Harrow, but it's
So
helpareporter.com.
they can just Google Harrow and
Yeah,
it
you
should be
can
able to.
Google Harrow or helpareporter.com, and you will be amazed at the different prompts that people are looking. You don't have to be a big business unless the article is about how much money you made. Doesn't matter. You just talk about
Nice.
what you're passionate about, and someone will listen and someone will write about it.
That's awesome. Brittany, thank you so much for jumping on. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
I'm all over everything, social media, but the best way to get in touch with me, if you want to talk to me directly, is brittanybettini.com. All my stuff's
Fantastic.
linked there.
Awesome. Thanks again for your time. Guys, check out Brittany. She's the best. She's the real deal. Have a good day.